This episode of Coronavirus North Carolina News Brief is brought to you by Right By You Mortgage. Wherever life takes you, we're right by you. Visit rightbyyoumortgage.com/podcast to learn more.
From WREL and the Capital Broadcasting Podcast Network, this is your Coronavirus North Carolina News Brief for Friday, October 23rd. I'm Amanda Lamb. The governor's Phase 3 executive order was set to expire at 5 o'clock today, but Governor Cooper announced this week that he's hitting the pause button on more reopenings and increasing the number of people at gatherings for at least 3 weeks as our case numbers continue to rise. North Carolina passed grim milestones this week: 4,000 deaths and the single highest death toll reported in one day, 53. We rank 6th in the country for new daily cases, and several states in the Northeast are requiring that anyone who travels there from North Carolina must quarantine upon entry. More than 1,200 people remain in the hospital, the highest number since July. Dr. Amir Barzin with UNC talked to us about his concerns.
What we're seeing right now is an increase in the number of cases that we're seeing across the state. What that does eventually is kind of work a little bit on stressing the hospital systems that we have. And so we're trying to do our best to make sure that we're staying adequate in terms of having the access that we need for our patients and making sure that we're doing the best that we can to test across the state. It is hard when you look at other countries and sometimes seeing the rates that they're doing and how they're getting back to somewhat normal function in terms of the things that they're doing. It's tough to see that we're kind of in the upturn right now.
Doctors say some of that upturn may be due to us letting down our guard when it comes to social distancing. Initially, the CDC said in order to contract the virus, you had to have close contact with an infected person for at least 15 minutes. Well, this week, it changed those guidelines. WRAL spoke with Duke infectious diseases doctor Thomas Holland about the change.
The definition has been expanded, so instead of just being 15 minutes of close contact that are consecutive, now it's 15 total minutes over a 24-hour period. And fundamentally, this is a recognition that this is not, there's shades of gray here. It's not a black and white matter that, in fact, the cumulative exposure over the course of a day or over the course of any matter of time does matter. Even brief exposures can lead to transmission of the virus.
The Mecklenburg County Health Department is holding drive-through testing today for the second day in a row near a church in Charlotte. So far, health officials there say at least 68 people contracted the virus connected to a multi-day event earlier this month at the United House of Prayer for All People. 2 people have died. At least 4 people are now hospitalized. When school buses roll out in Wake County Monday, they will be operating at 1/3 their normal capacity. Elementary school students in Wake are heading back to the classroom for the first time since the pandemic shut schools down last spring. A lot of parents have questions about what it will look like to ride the school bus. Here are some answers. Students should stand 6 feet apart at the bus stop. They will board the bus one by one, filling in the seats from back to front. Wake School's spokesperson, Heather Lawing, gives families a tutorial on YouTube.
Whenever possible, students should sit one to a seat. Siblings may share a seat. Wearing a face covering is a requirement to board the bus. Face coverings must be worn over the nose and mouth at all times while riding the bus. Bus drivers will have face coverings available for students who do not have one.
Obviously, sick children should not get on the bus. Parents must complete and submit a form saying their child will follow all safety protocols on the bus. Now, when they get off the bus, they will go through a health screening before entering the school. Bus drivers will be responsible for cleaning their own vehicles. Here's Lawing again.
Drivers will clean and disinfect buses between each route and at the end of their workday, paying particular attention to high-touch areas, such as seats, handrails, door handles, windows, and grab handles.
While many school systems are slowly welcoming students back, more and more high school sports teams are also returning to practice. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association suspended all school sports in March, but now close to 80% of all schools in the association have resumed some sports. Psychologists say you have to weigh the risk of getting COVID-19 against the risk that not playing sports for many of these students can lead to feelings of isolation and depression. Local sports psychologist Dr. Bradley Hack weighs in on this issue.
I think it's just really taken a toll on them. And, they're feeling sad because there's a ton of loss, and we're all facing the losses, the loss of jobs, the loss of loved ones who have contracted it, the loss of time with teammates and with coaches, the loss of time to develop their skills. And so it's just weighing them down, and they're just really sick of it, basically. That's what I'm hearing. And it's leading into a lot of apathy and then boredom as well. It just feels like Groundhog Day.
This has been your Coronavirus North Carolina News Brief for Friday, October 23rd. I'm Amanda Lamb.
When it comes to buying a new home, you want to know that you're in good hands. At Right By You Mortgage, the dedicated team of lenders live in your community and are committed to being right by you every step of the way. Whether you are a growing family, a relocating professional, or a retiring couple, they'll partner with you to find the right loan to fit your unique home buying needs. Plus, with a Right By You Mortgage on-time closing guarantee, they'll pay you and the seller $500 if you don't close on time. Visit rightbyyoumortgage.com/podcast to get started. Wherever life takes you, we're right by you. Go to rightbyyoumortgage.com/podcast for full details. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 402136.